What is up, guys? Welcome to Sunny Gaming. Hope you're all having a great time in Tamriel and that you're all as excited as I am for the year ahead. If you want to help support the channel, then go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons and drop your thoughts into the comments section below. We throw out a lot of DPS builds here at Sunny Gaming, but today we're going to be taking a step back and going back to school. Mastering the role of DPS can often feel like navigating a complex labyrinth of information, and it's easy to get lost in the fine details. So we're going to be checking out a handy tutorial on weaving that you can take part in while you watch. If you haven't already, then I recommend opening up the game and watching this video on your phone or tablet or whatever else that you have so that you can watch while you practice at the same time. It's not essential, but it'll help you to wrap your head around what we're talking about here. All you really need are a character with weapons and skills, and something to beat up, preferably a dummy of some kind, but a high health enemy will do the trick just fine. You'll be guided through this tutorial by your very stylish magic sorcerer here, who you can find a detailed build video for in the description below. So let's get started, first of all, with talking about what weaving actually is. Technically, weaving originated as a slight manipulation of game mechanics to increase overall average damage per second by working light attacks in between skills during a rotation. In order to optimize DPS, this needs to be done in a specific way to ensure a smooth and easy to perform rotation, and if done right, then your light attacks will end up being one of the highest contributing portions of your damage output. Alright, so all you need to do at first is simply spam any single target skill against your target. This can be anything like Force Pulse, Concealed Weapon, Molten Whip, whatever your character has that will do the trick. Just keep hitting it and you will see a very important feature of combat in ESO, the global cooldown. This is a game mechanic that basically dictates that you can only use one skill per second, and that will be an important part of learning to weave. Understand the rhythm that your skills fire with and get comfortable with it, which is the first step towards boosting your DPS. Next, what you'll do is simply alternate between using your skill and a light attack. There's no need to rush here, but do try to take note of the animations that your character performs when they fire off skills and light attacks, because our goal here is to manipulate the game mechanics to decrease the light attack's animation time to practically nothing. What this means is that we can slip light attacks in between our skills without any time being wasted, and since light attacks cost nothing, it's free damage. But how are we going to do this? Well, we are working up to that right now. All you need to do next is increase your speed, simply firing your skill of choice and your light attack one after the other. Remember when you was just spamming your skill with no light attacks? Well, you'll probably have a bigger gap between each skill connecting right now, since you're accommodating your light attacks without weaving. So next, let's look at how to spam your skills every second while working light attacks in for free damage. So here's how you do it. Imagine you're hitting your skill and your light attack at the very same time. Now that won't work in and of itself, but you want to get as close as you possibly can to that without actually doing it. Hit your light attack and then immediately afterwards hit your skill. When we say immediately after here, we don't mean a second or half a second. We're trying to get the time difference between you hitting your light attack and your skill as close to 0 as possible without actually hitting both at the same time. And remember, always light attack first. What you'll be able to see if you repeat this is that your character's light attack animation is getting cancelled by your skills animation, which takes priority when the game figures out what your character is doing at that moment. The animation may be getting cancelled, but the light attack itself is not, and it will still fire and add damage that you would otherwise not have had. Keep doing this as fast as you can. Light attack, skill, and what you'll find is that you're actually firing your skill every second like before, along with the global cooldown, but you're slipping in those light attacks free of charge in between. Congratulations, you've accomplished the first part of weaving on a standard rotation. It's really that simple, and your DPS will increase exponentially the more you practice with it. When you're burning down a boss or wailing on someone in Cyrodiil, do this and you'll be dishing out all that much more damage. Really easy. The problem you face now is that while there are some builds online for 1 bar DPS setups, most DPS builds will make full use of both of their skill bars. This can feel complicated once you've got comfortable with the standard flow of light attack weaving, but we can actually use it to our benefit to really smoothly transition between our skill bars without any fumbling. So now what we're going to do is start by doing exactly what we just did, light attack weaving. Hit a light attack, hit your skill, and then as soon as you've tapped that skill button, quickly hit your bar swap button. What this will do is cancel your skill's animation, because the game will prioritize the bar swap animation first, but the skill will still fire as long as it doesn't have a channel or cast time. If it does have a cast time, then you have to wait for it to cast before hitting your bar swap, or it'll ignore you. So we're hitting our light stack, our skill, and then bar swap, and then we'll be ready to smoothly continue our rotation with another light attack and another different skill really easily, just like at the start. Light attack, skill, bar swap, light attack, skill. You can practice this by just repeating that rotation over and over to get it running smoothly for you, and don't worry if it's tricky at first. It can take a long time to establish that muscle memory here, but once you've figured it out, you'll never lose it. Now that we've looked at how to weave, let's do a quick summary on why you should weave. We've got the raw damage from light attacks themselves, and then there's the additional chance to activate status effects, the application of poisons if you use them, without having to resort to weapon abilities, more precise enchantment activation, meeting light attack requirements for the myriad of armor sets that demand them, and most importantly, ultimate. Light and heavy attacks will activate ultimate regeneration for a short while, which will be kept up at all times if you are weaving, allowing you to consistently use your ultimate throughout a fight. Now what we'll do is take a look at a pass from our sorcerer here, which will demonstrate how to light attack weave when you're in full swing. Take special notes of how we handle bar swapping, which can be tricky to get used to at first, but once you figure it out, it's like riding a bike, you won't forget it. So that's our pass, and here are the DPS numbers we were hitting with this. As you can see, our dual wield light attacks ended up comprising the highest portion of our overall DPS by a significant margin, and that's not even including the staff light attack on the back bar. Together they make 17.8% of the total damage done, which is really massive. I was going to include a comparison sheet for the same build without weaving light attacks, but unfortunately it became even more clear that it just isn't practical not to weave. Sororia, Reliquin, Kinras, the Harpooner's Kilt, Yakeda, all of the highest performing DPS sets are activated using light attacks and are near completely useless without doing so. This casts a shining example of just how much weaving light attacks is necessary in ESO. That's all you should need to know for you to master light attack weaving as a DPS in the Elder Scrolls Online. Once this has been accomplished and you're managing to do it consistently, you'll see your overall damage increase exponentially and you'll be performing way better in all content. Thanks very much guys, I've really enjoyed making this video, and if you enjoyed watching it, then don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you've got questions, then just drop them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. As always, have fun and stay safe on your adventures in Tamriel. Bye guys.